Overcommitment, financial strain, and even social events can trigger substance use problems during the holidays, but there are ways to cope without alcohol or drugs. Donna Branch with the Betty Ford Center of San Diego is here. Donna, good morning, and thank you for your time today.
Good morning. We're very happy to be invited.
The holidays can be a trigger or can be a time that is just difficult for people who are in recovery. Why?
You know, for some people, being with family is great. It's what they need. And for others, being with family is a time of stress. It's a time of pressure. And if there's substance use disorders, feeling like all eyes are on me, whether or not I'm using during those events, can trigger even more stress.
Usually, Donna, people that turn to drugs or alcohol, they're carrying some sort of pain or trauma that they're dealing with. And those substances help mask that for them, right?
Well, yes, in a way. What the brain does is seek pleasure and avoid pain at all costs, right? And from that first moment of substance use, it triggers that feeling of being okay. And so it sets up that conditioned learning that says every time I feel pain or stress, if I use this substance, I'll feel better. And so it begins that pattern. The problem is it's progressive and it changes the brain permanently, so it's really hard to stop.
So you're dealing with that, and then here comes the holiday season where it's supposed to be perfect and picture perfect, everything that you see in the movies. But as you mentioned at the beginning, it's not for many people.
No, it's not. And you know, it's wanting to be there, but being afraid to be there, right? Because you know what your family is like, you know what the environment is like, and you know what some of those pressures are. Also, being with family can trigger some of that old stuff. If there is old history, just being around those family members can bring you back to that place and those memories. That can also be stressful.
How could we be mindful if we have family or friends that we know are struggling with substance abuse? What could we do during this time to help them?
First of all, listen. Let them know that you're there to support them. Don't pry, let them come to you, but be that willing listening ear, and consider having events that are substance-free to be able to support them, but also let them know that if they're having a hard time, you can be their person, that, hey, let's get away and go do something else or sit back and talk, so they don't have to feel that pressure of performance with the rest of the family.
You talk about those events, and 'tis the season that there's just parties everywhere. You walk into a party and somebody will just put like a drink in your hand. So how do you navigate the parties if you don't want to drink and you don't want to get a beverage in your hand at that time?
You know, I think we need to normalize choosing something that's not alcoholic.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, I'll have a water, or is there a Diet Coke, or asking for something that is not alcoholic. Another trick that works well for other people is to already have something to drink in your hand. People aren't going to offer you a drink if you have a drink. So if you come prepared with your big water tumbler or something like that, somebody's not going to say, hey, can I get you a drink, because you've already got something.
There are also signs, you know, as a parent, and I have 4 children. I was just at a recent party and I saw that they were, offering beverages. And then you have like the teens and whatnot that I kind of look to them and say, okay, they're watching all of this and they're seeing people drink. So what could we do as parents for our kids that they learn maybe not to fall into that?
You know, it's one of those things that we know no matter how much we try to convince them not to, they're going to try. The more important thing is to be that safe space for them to come back and talk about it, so that you are the one. If they are uncomfortable with the situation, they're going to tell you about it. I think that's the better option, giving them the tools they need to say no.
For people who are watching right now, there are a lot of people who drink casually, they drink socially, but what would be a sign that would be more than just the social drinking, that you may want to like talk to someone and say, okay, maybe I need to pull back a little bit?
You know, there's a lot of different criteria that you can look at diagnostically that can help you understand that. One thing I would say is if you're having that thought, is my drinking too much? It's probably an indication that you're on the path where it could become a problem. The other thing I would say is if you're choosing not to engage in activities that you normally would, family gatherings or work environments or things like that, just because you can't drink or use in those environments, that's a good indicator that you're also on that path towards abuse of substances that you want to pay attention to.
Really important conversation, and we appreciate you taking your time to talk to us about it. And if you want to get any more information and if you need help, you can go to foxeyesandiego.com, click the Scene On tab. Donna, thank you for your time.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.